Thank you, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the honorable ladies and gentlemen. I must begin, just take a sentence to clarify for the honorable gentleman from Georgia. I have only limited control over that staff, you understand. To actually use it, I need instructions from a much higher body. But I am also, I must confess to you, a little bit tired this morning. I had an engagement in St. Louis, which didn't get me to Washington, to my surprise, till 1:15 in the morning. But I will try to do my best for you. And I would also like to limit, in the interest of compressing the hearing as appropriately as possible, I would like not to talk about the issues we disagree on. That's open knowledge. We know where we disagree. I would rather instead focus on what is not in dispute, indeed, what is indisputable. There is no dispute that just 150 miles from here in sleepy Richmond, Virginia, they cut homicides by 1/2 in just 1 year. They employed the awesome simplicity of enforcing existing federal gun laws. It's called, as you know, Project Exile. The word's out now in the streets of Richmond. If you were a felon caught with a gun, you will go to jail. 5 years. No plea bargaining, no profile. 5 years. They're actually changing criminal behavior down there and saving lives. Now that's not partisan. That's not conjecture. It's not hyperbole. That is a fact. Thanks to the fearless prosecutors whom the chairman has recognized, innocent Americans are alive today in Richmond that would have died at the hands of armed felons. But elsewhere across this land, innocent Americans are alive today, will be dead tomorrow, or next month, or next year, because this administration, as a policy, is putting gun-toting felons on the streets in record numbers. Now, if you don't believe me or the NRA, believe the recent independent Syracuse University studies, which revealed that federal prosecutions of gun crimes have dropped by 44% during the Clinton-Gore administration. Right here in our nation's capital, there were some 2,400 violent crimes committed with firearms last year. Guess how many of those were prosecuted? Two out of 2,400 arrested. In fact, in little old Richmond, there were more prosecutions under federal gun laws in that one state, that one city, than in California, New Jersey, New York, and Washington, D.C. combined. I find that a staggering statement. Now, why does the president, I ask myself and I ask you, ask for more federal gun laws if he's not going to enforce the ones we already have, which is 22,000? This deadly charade is killing people and will surely kill more. When political hot air is turning into cold blood, when the duplicitous spin is becoming lethal, someone's got to speak up. Why does the president ask for more police if he won't prosecute their arrests? No lives will be saved talking about how many hours a waiting period should be, or how many rounds a magazine should hold, or how cheap a Saturday night special should be. But if you want to impact gun crime now, you really must demand that Project Exile be implemented in major U.S. cities now. I wish you luck, a lot of luck. For a year, we have challenged, urged, and pleaded with the Clinton administration to take $50 million out of $14 billion budget and implement Project Exile's enforcement program nationwide. What was their response? A Justice Department spokesman told USA Today, I quote, "It's not the federal government's role to prosecute these gun cases." I think also of a session Senator Sessions held a hearing last summer in which, in fact, someone from the administration, I do not know who, appeared and was asked this question: why won't you prosecute? And I'm not kidding. His answer was, well, we have come to the conclusion that if you incarcerate a felon for a crime, his place will simply be taken by another felon. I submit that is the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard offered in governmental discourse. Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder ridiculed Project Exile as a cookie-cutter approach to fighting crime. Cookie cutting. He called it fundamentally wrong to earmark funds for enforcing federal gun laws. Fundamentally wrong, he said. A senior official of the BATF tried to explain away the 44% decrease in federal prosecutions of gun crimes by saying, well, we seek to prosecute a few sharks at the top rather than the numerous guppies of the criminal enterprise. Mr. Chairman, those guppies with guns are murdering innocent Americans who are left defenseless by a White House and a Justice Department that lack either the time or the spine to enforce existing gun laws against violent criminals. We challenge Bill Clinton to direct Attorney General Janet Reno to call upon all the district attorneys around this country and instruct them to take on just 10 more federal gun cases every month. That is their job, after all. The result would be the prosecution of about 10,000 more violent felons with guns, 10,000 potential murderers taken off the streets of America. And we urge this body to do what the White House won't, to appropriate $50 million to implement Project Exile in major cities across the country. And if the president calls that fundamentally wrong, ask him what you call it when the odds of doing time for armed crime are no worse than the flip of a coin. Thank you.